YouTube, what's going on? I think it's time that we start tapping into some Midwest hustlers. Ohio, where y'all at? Tonight, we taking it to Dayton. Now, Stuart Bugs Norman, aka Mr. Ohio, and they called him Mr. Ohio for one reason. He ran things. He controlled the dope trade. He controlled the prices, and he had a say-so on who could make paper in Ohio. When it came to the out-of-towners, he ain't play that. He'll make an example out of a sucker quick. Now, we often talk about the hustlers and the amount of money that they made in the time period. But this man was printing it. His problem was the spending. He spent money like he was getting legit paper. And I know you can't take it with you, but there's things that came with the spending. Now, he had properties and car washes, but a car wash ain't having you rolling like the way he was. And you know he was turning heads, and the neighbors and all people from all over would ask what he do for a living. And he would tell people he's a professional gambler. Now, you knew he was a somebody when he walked into a room. He would stand out not only by the clothing and the jewelry, but the way he carried himself, calm, cool, and collected. When the elephant's in the room, you felt it. People that knew him claimed to never saw him break a sweat or even have a worry, no matter what's the situation. He would attend popular events and would have front row action at the Tyson fights, not only looking like $1 million, but you just knew because everything about him says it. He had a mean wrist game, as he would just take a timepiece off his wrist and gift it to a close one. He sported presidential rollies. He had a $100,000 watch before they was rapping about it. We're talking about the 80s and 90s, people. In a world of money, one way they can identify you is by your watch. It shows your level of importance and how valuable your time is. So if any type of salesman knew better, seeing that walk into a dealer or any type of business, the VIP treatment comes. Why you think at certain high-end stores, they offer champagne? Because it's levels. And when we say levels, this man has a car for every bump on your face. He had official race cars on the track, custom-built machines that he used to drag race. He swiped cars off a couple other hustlers, whether if it was a bet or if they just owed him money. He gave his teenage son a Jag he took off a hustler. He had a $200,000 tractor trailer. He even copped a $200,000 Ferrari. His wife had to ask him, where is he gonna drive that? Because a Ferrari is not an everyday car. But if he was traveling with keys, he would make sure he would be in a supercar just to be able to get away from the law enforcement. Being in the fast car will also give him time to toss keys if he had to. He would give his 14-year-old son a $500 a week allowance. Now, that might not catch your attention, but you have to think about this. Around those times, folks would bust their ass all week at their jobs and still wouldn't make $500. So that's something to think about. He had apartments all over the US. He had luxury apartments out in New York and Florida. If you walk in one, it's guaranteed to find 50 to 80 grand just laying around like it was nothing. He had a nice vehicle parked at each spot. They knew his name across the US. On the streets, he had zero tolerance for rats. He hated rats with a passion, and there weren't any room for any in Dayton. He was disgusted with all the ratting that was going on in New York and guys getting away with it. But he didn't have a problem with killing rats. The rats weren't the only ones that feared them. He had gangsters all over Ohio that knew he wasn't anything to play with. Yes, he appeared to be very flashy, but it had to get dark numerous of times as bodies dropped. Now, when the feds began watching as they saw his trips back and forth to Africa, assuming he was doing some type of illegal business, but what he really had going on was a gold mine. He invested a good amount of money into it. He would begin sporting the diamonds in his chains and watches. Yes, his diamonds were straight from Sierra Leone. But of course, all things must come to an end. With the indictments coming down hard, he would have all his assets seized. He would fail to reveal any legitimate source of income that financed his lifestyle. They saw all the properties, the cars, the clothes, the jewelry, the trips. Whatever records of income he did have ain't really match up to any of it. So that's when the IRS gets involved, because they're not getting their cut. So the lawsuit prosecutors filed was to come for all his properties and vehicles, also an estimated $2.6 million in cash. Man, they'll do you dirty, man. They'll put your family out on the street. They'll put your family out on the cold streets just to get what you have. And to add insult to injury, They had his own nephew cooperate with law enforcement to bring down the organization. With a family like that, who needs enemies? See, it didn't take long for his nephew to break. His nephew, he wasn't built for that jail cell. He wasn't built to be on man time. He sat there, he thought about all the luxury cars, all the women. He couldn't stomach the fact that he was about to leave all of that behind. So what do? He ended up cooperating. He ended up snitching on his own uncle. Snitching is snitching, period, no matter who it is. You're supposed to do your time like a man. Life is not fair. Charge it to the game. But he was the type of person that was just ungrateful and selfish. He forgot about all the favors that his uncle ever done for him, all the love that his uncle showed, all the help that he gave him, and that's how he repaid him. See, you really gotta be out of your mind, like batshit crazy, if you think you're gonna enter the streets and have everyone play by the rules. The hustlers and the government play dirty. If they wanna bring you down, they'll bring you down. All they have to do is get someone that won't reduce time just to lie on you. They don't even have to know you. It's your word against theirs. It's their word against yours. That's just how it is. It's a business. In 2011, he will pass away. And a lot of people had good things to say about him. Through the ups and downs, he remained solid. He did his time like a man. He didn't cry or blame anyone about it. Even when his son got into the game, he made sure his son was cool. He had a great run. The problem was the spinning, just so much spinning. He was just too flashy for his own good. Once they see what you got, they'll wait until you get more and more. They'll sit back and let you do all the work and just snatch everything because they don't care about the communities being destroyed. You really think they care about that? Especially if it's not where they live. I mean, you could do all the damage you want. As long as it's not in their community and you're keeping that shit over there, they good. But anyway, it's all about the success of those conviction rates. But I'm sure we all know. Anyway, thanks for tuning in to Members Only. If you like the content, it doesn't have to end here. Tune into my last couple of videos. Hit the playlist. Get the likes up if you're new. Don't forget to subscribe. But you gotta turn the notifications on though, so you don't miss out. Hit me up in the comments or just follow me on the gram. Y'all be easy out there. I'm out.